No, I agree with you.
Alex Jones agrees with the weekend sit and spin. Do you?
I agree with you, and the police and military better decide whose side they're on.
Only on the one and only.
A weekend sit and spin. It's on KineticHiFi.com. We're internet radio. We're alternative media. Just trying to get the truth out there.
Good job.
And good Sunday morning. Welcome into the Sunday Morning Freedom Spin. Part number 1, The Drew Howard Show. You're locked in here on KineticHiFi.com, Spreaker Web Radio. For the next 2 hours, you've got me, the unfiltered spin of Drew on all things news, politics, conspiracy, you name it, whatever we're going to get into today. It's going to be a long ride down the rabbit hole, as it always is every Sunday morning right here. KineticHiFi.com, Spreaker Web Radio. Welcome in. We're in the chat box both places. You can let us know. Agree, disagree. Just give us your thoughts. And then, of course, following me will be Nick O'Kelly from 11 to 1 with the Sunday Spin with Nick O'Kelly. It's a little more tamed down. It's Nick's style. Not exactly mine, but that's why we get so good when we're together on the Saturday show for the weekend sit and spin. You know, he's a little bit calmer. I'm more agitated. I'm more in your face because I'm tired of this. I'm tired of the New World Order. I'm tired of the tyranny that's taking us over. And, you know, I'm passionate about it. We're going to get all into that. But first, I do want to give a little bit of a kind of a housekeeping announcement here at KineticHiFi.com. As we mentioned yesterday, and I'm sure you've heard on every show here on KineticHiFi.com, we were very saddened this week with the loss of really the creator, the founder of Clicks Radio, KineticHiFi.com, the Fix FM. Brad was the tech guy. He built all of these systems that we use from the ground up, and it really was a sad loss. Unfortunately, Brad Cooper did pass away in a car wreck Thursday night, right before the 4th of July. It was very sad. And we do have an announcement that memorial services will be tomorrow evening, Monday the 7th, from 6 to 8 p.m. at McAllister Smith Funeral Home out on Folly Road. So if you're in the Charleston area, definitely I would love to see you out there. Come by, support. The whole Kinetic Hi-Fi family is going to be out there. I think Brad's family will probably be there too. So come by. Keep Brad's family, keep Boyd, and keep everybody here at KineticHiFi.com in your thoughts and prayers going through this. This is a very tough time. And, again, this morning, just like we started off yesterday morning with on the weekend sit and spin, we also want to start off this morning with a moment of silence for Brad Cooper and to remember him. Simply put, without Brad, there wouldn't be this show. There wouldn't be the weekend sit and spin. There wouldn't be any of the great Kinetic Hi-Fi programming that you know and love. So, we love you, Brad. We miss you. And, we're going to go to a quick break right here. Little Seven Dust, Angel's Son to take us out. Amazing song.
Life is changing, hey, yeah. I can't stand by you. You are fighting every day, so wonder why the pain. I know you never said goodbye. I had so much left to say.
We're bringing Charleston to the world. This is KineticHiFi.com.
To be pampered is to be treated with excessive care and attention. Considering Shim Salon Spa has been named Salon of the Year by Modern Salon Magazine, you can expect that's just what you'll get. With over 20 years of experience in pampering and beautifying the Low Country, Lori and her team focus on the needs of each client. Shim Salon Spa is a full-service boutique offering the latest in color and hair artistic creations for women and men, along with the most innovative and relaxing spa experience anywhere. Relax, renew, and reinvent yourself. Located at 506 Live Oak Drive in Mount Pleasant, behind Page's Ochre Grill. Call Shim Salon Spa today at 843-656-2506. That's 656-2506. Or visit their website at shimsalonspa.com.
For the third year in a row, Condé Nast Traveler is named Charleston, South Carolina, the world's best city. Now, a radio station that brings Charleston to the rest of the world. You're listening to KineticHiFi.com.
Getting pumped up with a little 7 Dust this morning. It's a Sunday morning. Let's get excited. It's time for the Drew Howard Show, Sunday morning Freedom Spin. A lot going on out there. You know what? I'm just going to start it in the comedy vein with comedy topic. We talked about it a little bit yesterday, but now I'm going to get into it a little bit more because some more evident stuff has come out over this. Joan Rivers this week. As we talked about yesterday with Nick O'Kelly on the the weekend sit and spin Saturday morning. Joan Rivers was approached by paparazzi. Let's call it what it is. It was a paparazzi approached her this week and asked her, do you think we'll ever have a gay or a female president? And she said, we already have one. Obama's in office and Michelle's a tranny. Oh, I'm sorry. We can't say that word anymore. Right. That's part of the whole new push to eliminate words like tranny from our vocabulary because it's offensive. So I'm sorry. She said that she was a transsexual. She just shortened it and used that slur. I'm going to use that slur on the show. But Joan Rivers, stock and trade is shock. This is coming out of Breitbart.com, and the question is, can Joan Rivers survive calling Obama gay, First Lady tranny? Honestly, if you've delved into the conspiracy realm at all, you've come across videos of Chicago's Lower East Side, the bathhouses, the gay bars, the people that claim to know little Barry Soetoro very, very, very well. You've come across a bunch of those. The Pakistani roommate when he was supposedly at Occidental College that claims they were more than roommates. Reggie Love. At this point, the conspiracy rabbit hole for Obama's sexuality is pretty much as wrapped up as 9/11 wasn't done by 20 Islamic terrorists and bin Laden in a cave. And as I've said, there's also conspiracies if you get online as far as Michelle Obama and her gender. So this is things that are out there. It's in the general public. And as a comedian, you take whatever you find in the general public and you run with it. You do. You make jokes out of everything. That's the beauty of comedy is you laugh at everything. I have people come up to me that go, really, you shouldn't joke about the Holocaust. I mean, that's just really rough and it's anti-Semitic. I'm like, listen, do you listen to the jokes that I do? They're not anti-Semitic. They are anti-German. They are anti-German because I'm laughing at the Germans for being ridiculously stupid and evil. That's the point I'm trying to point out to you. And again, it's sometimes it's a curse. And comedians, it's a fine line because I'll just say this. A lot of times the comedians are more intelligent than the audience. It happens. You run into it time and time again. Show I did last weekend. I was told, yeah, you were funny, but man, a lot of your jokes, I didn't get. I had to think about them for a minute. And, I don't come to comedy shows to think. It's just like there's a Bill Hicks interview where they said the same thing to him, and he was like, oh, well, where do you go to think? Because I'll meet you there. And that's exactly the point that a lot of us comedians get at. And it goes on to say that crude humor, no doubt, and hardly funny, but while President George W. Bush was fair game for comedians who would call him anything they wished, the same rules haven't applied to this first family. Yeah, remember we saw the rodeo clown last year that lost his job and was basically put up to public crucifixion for wearing an Obama mask in a rodeo. He was racist for that. If you say anything against Obama, you're racist. I have to be very careful in certain rooms that I work because I do a few Obama jokes. And in certain rooms, they would get me shot most likely. because there's just no level of humor with this. And again, it goes back to the leftists. I wanted to get into some more talk with the leftists. Coming out, death threats against Texas Tech cheerleaders because they went big game hunting in Africa. Really, the leftists keep saying that, conservatives, Christians, libertarians, gun owners, returning veterans, they're the American homegrown terrorists. They're so dangerous. But yet it's the liberals, the leftists. I don't want to call them so-called liberals because they're not liberals. They're not liberals in the true vein of Thomas Jefferson or in the true vein of Bill Hicks, who was a Thomas Jeffersonian liberal. They're not true liberals like that. They're leftist, statist, and they're the ones that are always out there screaming violence. I'm going to kill you, death to you, and take your guns because you're so violent against me. It's BS. It's a steaming pile of Barry Soetoro, and I'm sick and tired of this double standard. The leftists, they're the violent ones. Not the conservatives, not the Christians, not the libertarians, not the gun owners, not the returning veterans, not the people who like tri-cornered hats and Gadsden flags. You know what they are? They want to be left alone. They don't want government intervention. They don't want government telling you what to do. I don't want government telling me what to do. I don't want government intervention in my life. I don't want government handing out free money to people to go stand in line for 45 minutes at Food Line using 4 WIC checks and holding me up for an hour. I'm tired of that. Big government is not the answer. Big government is the problem, folks. When government starts giving you everything, it feels that it can take whatever it wants from you. It is a give and take. If it's going to give you something, it's going to take away a lot more in return. Let's get back to the story here of Joan Rivers. Will Obama's defenders demand an apology for Rivers? Yeah, she was attacked last night on CNN. I believe it was last night. That article, let me pull it up from Drudge. Got to drop to a couple different pages here. But she was attacked on CNN and walked out of an interview. Said that the Frederica Whitfield was the wrong person to interview. You're not the person to interview a person who does humor. Sorry, she said as she walked off the set. And we're seeing this time and time again. We're seeing Opie and Anthony, also very crude in the vein of Howard Stern with their radio show, get fired from Sirius XM this week because he got attacked and posted a Twitter rant about his attackers that was perceived as racist. Literally, you can't say I was punched in the face by a black guy without being racist. That's not racist. It's factual. It's what happened. It's not racist to point out facts. It's all these stories. Every news organization, every media outlet now you see, when they're reporting crimes, if it's an African-American suspect, they will not print a description of the suspect. They'll give you his age and maybe what he was wearing, but that's it. Are we that PC in this country to where we can't even tell people who to be on the lookout for? Oh, but you can't protect yourself. You have no rights to protect yourself. If you try to protect yourself, you're racist. You got to be like the Obama supporter that we've got on video saying, well, if somebody wants to kill me, they just going to have to kill me because, it ain't in my rights to protect myself. God didn't want me to protect myself. The preacher said that. So the preacher said I must just die. So that's what I'm going to do. Read the Bible yourself. God gave you self-defense. That is not the same as murder. It irritates me because they've changed the 10 Commandments to thou shalt not kill. No, it's thou shalt not murder. If somebody's trying to kill you, defend yourself to the death. A brainwashed, sheepish people that are asleep. That's what we're surrounded with. And it irritates me to no end because it's time to wake up. There are evil, demonic Satanists in charge here that want to bring about a new world order of death and enslavement to all of us. And if we don't stand up now, there will not be a time to stand up. But it's okay because you're going to get your GMOs delivered to your FEMA camp where you're going to be locked up at. And they'll have the football games on each week for you. You'll be able to watch that and you'll have your sports. You'll have your instructions every day that they'll hand out to you that you'll follow. You'll be mindless, brainwashed sheep going about your day. Meanwhile, the rest of us that tried to wake you up, the ones that the whole time you called us hate mongers while we're really caring, compassionate, doing everything we can to wake you up to save you from this tyranny, you're calling us hate mongers. You're calling us racist, homophobic, evil. You're calling for our deaths while we love you enough to try to save you. That's the real perversion of this situation. But you know what? I'm going to be on the radio for the next hour and 45 minutes trying to save you and wake you up. Nick O'Kelly's coming up right after me to do the same thing. We'll be back next weekend to do it all over again because we're not going to give up because I tell you what, you liberal statist, I love you. And I don't want to watch you die at the hands of these New World Order tyrants because it's going to be you that's going to die as well. It's your kids that are getting shot up with the vaccines. It's your kids that are getting autism. It's your kids that are eating the GMO, becoming fat little diabetic slugs. And even them I love enough to try to be out here to wake you up to save you. This is the Sunday Morning Freedom Spin. I'm Drew Howard. You're locked into the Drew Howard Show. I'm going to head out to break. We'll be right back after this.
KineticHiFi.com is smooth.
It's so good loving somebody, and somebody loves you back.
Hi, this is Bob Charles, the host of The Bob Charles Show. I very rarely endorse anything, but this service deserves my attention. Atlantic Repair LLC is the only credit restoration company that is actually headquartered here in Charleston, South Carolina. Unlike other companies that overcharge you because a middleman gets paid and then your credit report goes to Poland packed in sauerkraut. This company is here to help all of us and our credit problems like low scores, collections, judgments, inquiries, and a bunch of more bad stuff. Call Atlantic Repair LLC at 888-957-1118. They are the one company in South Carolina that charges 50% less than any other service on the planet, and no monthly fees either. They work till they are done. They get my vote. Now it's your turn. Call 888-957-1118 or go to www.atlanticrepairllc.com and follow the directions on page 1. They care for you.
It's a fact. Nearly 80% of us will have back pain at some point in our lives. And for some of us, it can be debilitating. If you live in the Charleston, South Carolina area and have any kind of back issue, Peninsula Chiropractic is your answer. Peninsula Chiropractic has a reputation built on great customer service and the results most chiropractors can't deliver. One patient and local firefighter says, I have been a patient with Peninsula Chiropractic for nearly 10 years. Dr. Ty and Dr. Rob have treated me with the utmost skill, respect, and kindness as a person and a patient. I feel extremely confident with their skills and have recommended Peninsula Chiropractic to numerous people, not to mention the relaxed atmosphere and genuine caring staff that is Peninsula Chiropractic. Don't spend another day in pain. Call Peninsula Chiropractic today at 843-723-6475. That's 723-6475. Or visit the office, conveniently located within the Sergeant Jasper Building downtown at 310 Broad Street, number 2, Charleston, South Carolina.
Well, hey, this is Scott Mann from Wave 104.1 in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And even though you probably don't know who the hell I am, you should know who Brian T. Shirley is. You like to laugh? Of course you do. That's why you're a comedy fan. Well, head down to your favorite bookstore or just go to that store's website and order the comedy books Make Love, Not Warts and 7 Beers Ago by comedian Brian T. Shirley. Brian's written 2 books full of crazy proverbs and silly sayings that are available worldwide for ebook downloads or in paperback. You can even get a signed copy by going to Brian's website at briantshirley.webs.com.
You're listening to Kinetic Hi-Fi in Charleston, Samalama.
gonna free this town tonight? Who's gonna free this town tonight?
What's up?
The new world order's going down.
What up, Flame? We are, yes, I said it, we are. Watch the truth rising. Global resistance. Get your fatigues, cause they sold out everyone. Black people, white people, sold out everyone. Jay-Z's another buster. Kneeling down to Bilderberg, I'll get more in.
Welcome back into the Drew Howard Show. Sunday morning freedom spin right here on KineticHiFi.com, Spreaker Web Radio. Of course, you can check out the Facebook page, Facebook.com/Sit and Spin Radio. Sit and Spin Radio Network all over the place. Nick O'Kelly will be coming up right after this with the Sunday Spin with Nick O'Kelly. Stick around for that. And, of course, you know, we're getting back to what we were talking about before the break with Joan Rivers. She's going to be called racist. She's going to be attacked for that. We're already seeing some of the attacks coming out. Like I said, CNN tried to attack her with a very negative interview, and she says to Frederica Whitfield, you're not the person to, you're not the one to interview a person who has humor, sorry, and she walked off the set. Whitfield tried to criticize this as a PR stunt. Joan Rivers said that she's never done PR stunts. She doesn't have to. And, you know, this is a lady that for 40 years has been one of the leading voices in comedy. She's one of the best female comedians working out there. And she's worked for 40 years for it. You see her everywhere. And, you know, I'm sorry, but humor is the last vestige of free speech in this country. And when I have the microphone, when any comedian has the microphone, they have the right to say whatever they want to say. There's nothing that's off limits. And I'm sick and tired of people trying to say there's a line. There's a line you don't cross over there. No, you cross it because you show the absurdity of that line when you cross it. In a free society, it's our place to point out the absurdities of idiots around us. And that's what we do. The good, the bad. You know, sometimes the jokes work, sometimes they don't, but it's all about pointing out the absurdities, and you have to respect the individual comedian's right. When they have that microphone, you're going to hear their unedited, unfiltered thoughts. And that's what you have to be okay with when you step into a comedy club or when you step into any place that's doing it. If not, get out. It's not the comedian's job to make you feel comfortable and warm and fuzzy inside. Oftentimes, it's to point out the absurdities of the world around you because we live in a very dumb society. We live in a very dumb world where things that are stupid happen all the time. And if you don't point that out, if you accept it and, we have to take everybody's stupidity into consideration, accept it, what you get is you get a dumbed down society that is enslaved. You get tyranny when that happens, and they do this through political correctness. They do this through thought crime, through speech crime. You know, we saw it in Nazi Germany. We saw it in Russia under communism. We see it in China currently. If you speak out, you're killed. We see it in Cuba. We see it in Venezuela. We see it in all these communist countries, all these socialist countries. You have no freedom to speak your mind. And comedy is the last vestige in America of it, because we see even the churches being attacked now where they don't have their freedom of speech. You know, you can't speak out against the gospel, or you can't speak out for the gospel against homosexuality without your church being risked shutting down. And that's one area that even as a comedian now you can't really speak out that much against. But we had 50 years of making gay jokes. Now we can't do that anymore, and I guess that's okay. But you know what? That's not okay. I'm going to make some gay jokes. People may hate me, but I'm going to do that. Next show, come out, see it. We're going to have a whole new set. We'll work some of those in just to make people mad. Just because I can. Because if you don't exercise these rights, you lose them. So that's what's hitting me. This is a breakthrough right here on the air. You're hearing it first. A Sunday morning Freedom Spin exclusive right here. I'm getting more extreme with my comedy. I'm getting more real. And I'm going to do it just so no one loses this right. Because if I exercise it, you all still have this right. And again, I may make fun of you leftist status, but it's out of love to show you how idiotically stupid you are and hope that you'll wake up to fight this new world order. It's time. We don't have another day to waste. We don't have another beach day to sit here and hope that somebody else will pick up the mantle for us. No, This is like sitting out here at Folly Beach, but back when it was the war going on, and the Civil War, and it was glory out there. The 54th Massachusetts dying at the end of Folly Beach. It's like that now. You know, they picked up the flag and they continued. That was the first thing or last thing Matthew Broderick said to them before they went in there is, who's going to pick up the flag? It's time we pick up the flag. We're not sitting on Folly Beach drinking anymore. We're out there fighting tyranny. You want to fight real racism? Joan Rivers making a comment about Obama's not racist. Opie and Anthony getting put off the air, their comments weren't racist. You want to fight real racism? Look to Zimbabwe right now and their president, Robert Mugabe, who's saying that no whites may own land in Zimbabwe. They're kicking out white farmers off their land simply because they're white. That's racist. That's pure racism. Not making a joke about Obama. That's not racist. Not saying a black guy punches you in the face in the street when it happens. That's not racist. It's coming out of the Christian Science Monitor. Zimbabwe President Robert Mugabe has ordered the nation's remaining white farmers to be booted off their farms in order that the land be given back to black Zimbabweans. In the harshest official policy on race and land reform in a country that has been close to bankruptcy, the 90-year-old autocrat said Wednesday that whites may no longer own any land in Zimbabwe. Whites would still be allowed to own business in urban apartments. 200 square foot coffin apartments. It's Agenda 21, and they're doing it on the back of these racist undertones. Speaking to farmers in Manguri, a small mining town about 120 miles north of the capital, Harare, Mr. Mugabe said that all remaining white farmers should leave and close the door even on white families renting farms from black owners, as some several hundred have been doing since most were violently chased away a decade ago. That is an example of real racism in our society, in our world today. And is President Obama going to speak out about this? Is he going to want to have a beer summit with these white farmers and the president like he did over that supposed racism up in Cambridge, Massachusetts? No, he's not. Because this fits his Agenda 21 takeover mantra. This makes me completely sick, and we need to stand against this racism around the world. It's time we shut our borders down, which we're not going to do. I mean, Obama sent more people to defend the World War II memorial from a bunch of paraplegic veterans that fought in World War II than he sent down to the border to stop AIDS, herpes, gonorrhea, lice, measles, rubella, all of these things, diseases that are coming across the border, and they're human incubators. He sent more people to defend war memorials from the veterans that fought and bled for those very memorials than he does to stop illegals coming into this country that are ridden with crime, disease, you name it. Getting emotional here, folks, because I'm tired of it. Tired of this New World Order. I'm tired of Agenda 21, and all I see are idiot sheeple that want to sit around here and be consumed with the World Cup or get drunk on the 4th of July and celebrate their supposed freedoms. What freedoms? You are enslaved to global bankers. And then we get examples of real racism coming out of Zimbabwe, but nobody wants to talk about that. Instead, they want to crucify Joan Rivers here for an off-the-cuff comment. You know, I'm going to play the video here. We didn't play it yesterday, but I'm going to play the video. You can hear just how off-the-cuff it is. It's nothing racist, homophobic. It's a simple statement. It's what we do. Pardon my language here, folks, but comedians are sarcastic bastards. We all are. That's what we do. We're all a little off in the head. That's why we draw these connections that we make. That's why we're funny. And I don't know. I'm going to play the clip. Here we go.
Miss Rivers, how are you? you made a ton of news officiating the wedding in New York yesterday. Is this like a new cottage career move for you?
I'm so excited.
Okay.
And I should do very well because I don't charge.
And do you think that the country will see the United States will see the first gay president or the first woman
we
president?
already have it with Obama, so let's just calm down.
Got it.
You know Michelle is a trans.
I'm sorry, she's a what?
A transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh. It's okay. She doesn't.
I mean, it was off the cuff passing comment, but we all have to blow up, and she's racist now, and homophobic, and you name it. I'm sick of this double standard that the PC police have, and political correctness is what's killing this country. It's handcuffing people. It's making them scared to speak out, scared to exercise their rights of free speech, of free thought. And why are we listening to these leaders, folks? These leaders, they're all the same. How many times do we have to bust our elected officials in pedophile rings or in sick, twisted occult rituals like at Bohemian Grove, which will be happening next week? We'll definitely get into some of that next weekend on the shows because Bohemian Grove's coming up very fast. But, we catch them in all of these satanic rituals. We catch them in all of these pedophiliac rituals. We catch them shipping in the drugs, the guns, the kids to this country. We catch them arming the hoods and arming the streets, the violent places, not where registered gun ownership, where legal gun ownership. That's where violent crime's at the lowest, but, the illegal gun ownership, Chicago, Baltimore, New York, D.C., Detroit standing back up. They're fighting back, so that's great to see. And, of course, now you're not seeing anything happen out of Detroit because, Superman and Batman are both there. They are filming the Superman versus Batman Dawn of Justice movie in Detroit right now. It's great for the local economy there in Michigan, but I'm going to geek out for a minute just because I got to clear my head from this New World Order thoughts. I'm going to geek out for a second here and say I'm getting kind of excited about that movie. At first I wasn't, I've always been much more of a Marvel Comics fan. X-Men, Spider-Man. X-Men was the big one for me. I was a huge X-Men fan growing up. And, Marvel Studios is killing it with their MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, the ones that are all connected, the Avengers series, not with the X-Men or Spider-Man. They're still owned by other studios, but Days of Future Past was really good as far as the X-Men franchise. But the Marvel Studios, the Marvel Cinematic Universe ones have been killing as far as the movies go. Very patriotic in a lot of senses, particularly Captain America 2. Captain America 2, between it and the Lego movie this year, oh my GOSH, liberty is rising in Hollywood. That's all I can say. Doing a little Emmett quote there, but that's all I can say. And folks, if you haven't seen either one of those two, go out, check them out. They're both amazing movies. They'll get you fired up to punch the New World Order in the nose, which is what we need to be. We need to be passionate. I'm tired of being an emotionalist zombie. Half of society out there is so drugged up on SSRI drugs that they're already the Walking Dead. If meat prices keep going up, they're going to turn cannibal and start eating people on the streets. They're already brain dead, soulless zombies. You see it. You don't see a spark of life in their eye when you look in their eyes. You see cold, dead, soulless eyes all around you. It's the beauty. Look people in the eye. People are so scared to look each other in the eye anymore. And that baffles me that nobody will make eye contact. Because nobody wants to be truthful. Everybody's playing this role on a stage that has been set by mass media and the levels of complete narcissism that have risen in our country to where everyone is so narcissistic. The only thing that matters is what they put on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter. Social media is destroying our society. It's destroying our ability to be social. You don't get social on a Facebook page. You get social at an ice cream event. An ice cream social. That's what they're called that. You never hear of ice cream social media? Got another story out of the UK about 40 politicians in on UK pedophile ring. It's on Infowars.com. You can read the article there. No big surprise. BBC was all about some pedophiles. And that's the thing, is we catch all of these elites in power. They're always into sick, twisted, occult rituals, whether it's sex magic with pedophiles, underage children, or Aleister Crowley's being Barbara Bush's dad. I mean, there's this demonic, twisted, occult world that all of our leaders are raised in, grow up in, and it's I guess we shouldn't be surprised when the average person wants to just bury their head in the sand, ignore things that are blatantly in front of them, play it off as a singer having an edgy performance instead of doing a demonic ritual, which is what we see time and time again. All the people that try to justify Katy Perry's Grammy performances, oh, she was just being edgy. She wanted to be unique. No, she wanted to conjure demons. And again, folks, if you want to go down that rabbit hole, I highly suggest checking out Freedom Fly. He's very well spoken, very well educated, well researched, knows his points in his videos, and that'll open up a world to you that most of us are too blinded to see. The biggest analogy that I could say with that one is watching the Freedom Fly videos really helps put on the glasses from They Live, and you see the world around you for what it truly is. A sick, twisted, occultist society that wants to bring about the end of this age. For a better part, they want to destroy the world and rebuild on its ashes. And that's the goal of the New World Order. That's the goal. It's Agenda 21. It's on record. Why do you think we're seeing so much with the carbon taxes, with global warming? So I want to get into that. Probably do that after the break. But Australia is turning back their carbon taxes and their carbon emission regulations because they've seen just how much it's killed their economy. And again, what are we supposed to take for face value? Lying Obama? We're supposed to just take his word after we've caught him time and time again in a lie? That, well, global warming is a fact. It's not up for debate. It's a fact. We're supposed to just believe you? Yeah, like if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor? That one sound familiar? Got a story here on Infowars.com. The Wonders of Modern Education. It's a video of a girl saying Happy New Year over the 4th of July. She thought the 4th of July was New Year's. And it's the wonders of modern education, but I'm playing it down as the wonders of, and this is not the first time I've seen this, I've not seen this video. I saw it on Facebook. A couple people posted it last night. It's gone viral. And that's kind of a slap in the face that something this stupid would go viral. I mean, we really are living in a idiocracy type society here where people just want to watch people fart or get, kicked in the crotch in the growing region, or it's turning into the Lego movie where all people want to see is, where are my pants? Maybe we should do that. Nico Kelly and myself, we should get together and we should film a live action version of Where Are My Pants? What do you think? What do you think, listeners? Think that's a good idea? I think that's a good idea. Give us food for thought here on the Sunday Morning Freedom Spin. Hey, you're listening to part one of the Sunday Morning Freedom Spin. This is the Drew Howard Show. We're on KineticHiFi.com, Spreaker Web Radio. Jump in the chat box at either place. Love to take your topics this morning, hear what you think, what you have to say, what you don't have to say. Just chime in. Love to hear from you. Coming up next, you have Nico Kelly with the Sunday Morning Freedom Spin. He'll be here from 11 to 1 with you, giving you his thoughts. Probably won't be quite as emotional as I was, but it's a good show nonetheless. He's more informative. InfoWars poll here. Will Obama sign executive action to legalize illegals? Let's take a look here. 91% say yes. Of course, it's dictator Obama. Hey, this isn't crazy. This isn't socialism. This isn't the imperial presidency. Even though I have a pen, I have a phone, and I'm going to do what I want. Whatever. I do what I want. Eric Obama Cartman. This is the Sunday Morning Freedom Spin, the Drew Howard Show. We'll be right back.
can't wait to get on the road again. On the road again. Going places that I've never been. Seeing things that I may never see again. I can't wait to get on the road again. On the road again. Like a band of gypsies, we go down the highway. We're the best of friends, insisting that the world keep turning our way. And our way is on the road again.
We got talk shows, we got sunglasses, we got music, we got fake Rolexes. KineticHiFi.com. Keep it locked in, honey butter.
Your business not going right? Don't know how to advertise? Come holler at your boys right here at Signs to See. We specialize in all your advertising needs. You need t-shirts, business cards, signs, banners. We got it all. Car magnets, decals, flyers. We got it all for you right here at Signs to See. Conveniently located at 937 Wapo Road, Suite 2B. You can also call us at 843-608-0722. You got a family reunion, you got a class reunion, and don't know how to get your t-shirts done? Well, call Signs to See. Signs to See is conveniently located at 937 Wapo Road, Suite 2B. Also, you can call us 843-608-0722. Or you can log on, SignsToSee.com. And I do all my business with Signs to See.
For America's wounded warriors, sometimes coming home can be a battle in itself. Every one of them needs our support to meet the challenges they face every day. The USO provides Americans a way to offer that support to our wounded warriors and their families. Join us. Visit USO.org to learn how you can make a difference in their lives. The USO, until everyone comes home.
It's what happens when you cross saucy with awesome. That's right, you're listening to KineticHiFi.com, baby. It's awesome.
This is for the one who swings the hammer, driving home the nail. For the one behind the counter, ringing up the sales. For the one who fights the fires, the one who brings the mail. For everyone who works behind the scenes. You can
And welcome back in. This is the Drew Howard Show, part of the Sunday Morning Freedom Spin block right here on KineticHiFi.com, Spreaker Web Radio. Jump in the chat box either place. And we're going to get back into some news here. This is something we touched on yesterday, but we never really got into. This is a scary story, a very scary story coming out of the Bismarck Tribune. Anthrax confirmed in North Dakota beef cow. State veterinarian Susan Keller is urging North Dakota ranchers to make sure their livestock are vaccinated against anthrax after the first confirmed case of the year in a Barnes County beef cow. Anthrax bacteria spores lie dormant in the soil and become active under extreme weather conditions, such as drought or flooding, which some part of the states have experienced after heavy rains, it says. With the precipitation we've had, conditions are right for the disease to occur. Wow, so that's kind of scary, particularly with beef prices going up. Food prices are at a very, very all-time high, and that would put a pinch on a lot of people's 4th of July grill-outs. That was kind of surprising. Well, not really surprising. We've been saying that prices are going up, and the same with power prices. Obama's got his war on coal right now that's causing power prices to double, triple, quadruple, and people are starting to feel the pinch of it. People are really starting to feel the pinch, and I think you're really seeing the rise underneath the current of American population. People are waking up. Like I said yesterday, sitting out Saturday, I can't losing track of my days. Sitting out Friday night at the 4th of July celebration in North Charleston, I was hearing people in their conversations talking about Obamacare capping hours, about people losing jobs, about these inflated jobs reports that we see month after month about how the economy is getting better, and we're adding 18, 19-hour a week, $7.50 jobs to the economy. We're adding jobs that are paying people $100 a week to work, so that's good. You can live off of that, right? Not when your gas prices are going up, your food prices are going up, your power prices are going up. This is all about bankrupting society. It's killing the middle class, bankrupting society, and getting you on the government dole. Because if you take government money, if you take government services or goods, you are enslaved to the government. They can control you. And it's time we step back and we say enough's enough. And people are starting to do that. Like I said, I'm hearing a large undertone coming out. People are talking about they're still scared because of the PC police out there. You know, if you say something negative or if you say something bad about Obama, you're racist. People are enough's enough with that. People are understanding that it's time to fight back. You know, the words aren't going to hurt us. You know, if you want to label me as a racist, if you want to label me as a hate mongerer, then that's not going to hurt me with that label. What, I may be blacklisted in a communist style system? This is America. I have the freedom to excel if I wish, with nothing more than my determination. If I'm willing to work hard, I will succeed. And that's everybody in this country. It's the beauty of the American system. But you have to be willing to work hard. You have to get off the couch. You have to put down the TV, stop watching Maury, and get out there and do something. Nobody wants to do that anymore. Nobody tries. Everybody's afraid to fail. But failure's good. You hear that in every motivational video you watch. Anybody that's been successful has a list of failures in their background because failure breeds success. It's all about continuing. It's all about never giving up. And that's the other thing that does scare me is I see a large part of our population that's waking up. I see an even larger part of our population that's giving up. And those are the choices. Wake up or give up. Give up, you die. Wake up, you live. I mentioned this before the break. I wanted to get into it. Misconceptions help kill Australian carbon tax. A Yahoo News report. It's on Yahoo. You can find it. In 2007, Australians were ready to do something to combat climate change, even if it was expensive. More than 2/3 of them said so in a poll, and both major political parties vowed to make industries pay for greenhouse gas emissions. So they passed a bill. And it went into effect, and it's caused power prices to rise very steadily. They're still seeing I lost my place in this article, excuse me. Global recession, political miscalculations, and failed negotiations only partially explain the dramatic change. 3 top political leaders lost their jobs over issues of support climate change measures plummeted. So politicians in Australia are being voted out of office if they support climate change. The population current has switched there in Australia because of the fact that their power prices went way up. Australians' concerns about global warming peaked before elections in 2007. Prime Minister John Howard had grown unpopular for joining Washington and refusing to accept UN Kyoto Protocol targets for cutting carbon emission. These were straight out of Agenda 21. Both the Australia and the U.S. are leading producers of coal, a major source of the pollution, it says. So they were really all for it because the media was telling them in 2007 to support this, and that the pollution was big. The coal was a big source of the pollution there. Sorry, folks. I'm trying to get to these points in this article. It's very one-sided and very written that the Australians are stupid for not taking global warming more seriously and for turning their backs on it. It goes into talk about how into global warming they were. Between 2006 and last year, the average Australian power bill increased more than 85%. And where does it talk about the people being kicked out of office here? I'm trying to find that. Anyways, they're repealing this because the Australians no longer support it. The irony is that Tony Abbott did describe the whole thing as socialism dressed up as environmentalism, and it's interesting that he's taken away the environmentalism but keeping the tax shifts of socialism, if you like. I'm not sure. When I read this article earlier, it made a lot more sense. But the fact is, climate change isn't real. We've seen that time and time again. We're supposed to take Obama at his word for climate change. You know, we've got the videos of him saying last year in the State of the Union address that, well, climate change is a fact. There's no room for debate. People are flat earthers if they say climate change isn't real. It's a new method of birther. Computer models compounded as Arctic sea ice hits record new high. Government, the NOAA went back this week, the National Oceanic and Air Association or Administration, whatever the acronym is, went back this week and named a year in like 1929 as the hottest month on record still. They've changed it back. Ice is now covering 16 million square kilometers, more than 21 million unusual for this time, or more than 2.1 million unusual for this time of year. UN computer models say Antarctic ice should be in decline, not increasing. Again, global warming, this carbon credits, trade, cap and trade, it is really all about wealth redistribution. It's all about giving money to Blood and Gore, to Al Gore's company. Look it up. That's the name of the company, Blood and Gore. It's with a British guy named Blood. It's out of London. The Antarctic surge is so big overall, though Arctic ice has decreased. The frozen area around both poles is 1 million square kilometers more than the long-term average. So we have more than 1 million square kilometers of ice around both poles. That's higher than the average of what we normally have there. But yet the Arctic ice is melting, and we have to we have to pay Al Gore more money and cut off coal plants and raise up our prices for energy, all because the Arctic ice is increasing and climate change is bad, and it's not open for debate. Scotland's taking a new approach with climate change. They're saying that climate change could cause gingers to die out. Climate change could make red hair a thing of the past. This is out of the dailyrecord.uk. If Scotland gets any sunnier, red hair could be a thing of the past. As a ginger, I'm calling BS on this one. I'm calling Barry Soetoro. But it says redheads could become extinct if Scotland gets sunnier, experts have claimed. The gene that causes red hair is thought to be an evolutionary response to the lack of sun in Scotland. Redhead coloring allows people to get the maximum vitamin D from what little sun there is. Only 1 or 2% of the world's population has red hair, but in Scotland the figure is about 13%. So it really is a ginger paradise in Scotland. Sorry, folks. I had a little brain working in an odd way there. However, the figure could fall dramatically and even see redheads die out and completely in a few centuries if predictions that the country's climate is set to become much sunnier are true. So, there we go. If you want to eradicate gingers, just follow through with climate change, apparently. I don't know. I don't feel that way. I think, I think this is another BS point of climate change and another issue that's a non-issue. Climate change isn't real. South Park did a great job with that, showing that climate change is about as real as a creature that's half man, half bear, half pig. Okay? There's a better chance right now that Bigfoot is real. Bobo and the team at Finding Bigfoot, they get evidence every week. So there's more factual evidence that Bigfoot is real than climate change. Okay? That's all I'm saying. And especially when the climate change data, when you look at it, says the opposite of what the headline says. Oh, global ice is melting. Yeah, we have 1 million square kilometers more ice on both poles than what we should have, but it's melting. It's not warming, now it's cooling, now it's climate change. How about we call out the real thing that are making storms worse now? That are making bigger, nastier hurricanes, that are causing more floods and tornadoes. How about we call it the real thing that's doing that? It's called HARP. It's called ICAST in Norway. It's called the Boeing VLF array in Western Australia. It's called all of these globalists trying to play God with their weather modification technology. Stop putting barium and aluminum out of planes in the chemtrails. You won't have as bad as storms if you stop pumping metals and high toxicity into the upper atmosphere. If you stop shooting the ionosphere with electronic rays from your HARP VLF arrays. How about that? Quit trying to play God and the climate will correct itself. But nobody wants to talk about that. They want to talk about how bad you are if you drive a non-Prius. Which actually, this is kind of funny. Story I did see on Drudge yesterday. It's kind of funny talking about people that are making their diesel trucks spew black smoke. It's harmless. It's just a little bit of extra fuel that gets burned off, so it puts out black smoke. But it's called rolling coal, and there's a big trend going of people in big trucks doing it to people in Priuses, things like that. Of course, they're saying it's all anti-Obama racism that people are making their trucks do it. In fact, here's the headline. Smoke spewing pickup trucks protest Obama. Conservatives are purposely making their cars spew black smoke to protest Obama and environmentalists. This is out of the Business Insider. But a pretty funny article. I'd suggest go check it out. There's also videos on YouTube. It looks like an old coal train. Coal rollers are diesel trucks modified with chimneys and equippment that can force extra fuel into the engine, causing dark black smoke to pour out of the chimney stacks. These modifications are not new, but as the Slate's Dave Weigel pointed out, rolling coal has begun to take on political dimensions, with pickup drivers increasingly viewing their smokestacks as a form of protest against environmentalists and Obama administration's emission regulations. So... And they say that they do this mostly to people who drive hybrids and rice burners, Japanese-made cars. A lot of memes, a lot of videos on YouTube. It's becoming a trend that people are doing because it's the backlash. You know, the more you attack people, the more you say, "Well, if you disagree with Obama, you're a racist." Then you're a racist. It's just another way to fight back. Because of the labels that are being put on society and the labels that people are facing. You know, don't take our passiveness and our willing to turn the other cheek as a weakness. Because it's not. It's not a weakness. It's actually our strength. It's the fact that we can be patient. The fact that we can be kind and compassionate. Even in the face of pure hatred, of pure evil, of pure anger. We can be compassionate and we'll turn the other cheek on you, but that's going to run out. And I'm not calling for violence. I don't want to see it. I know you leftists, you statists are pushing for a civil war. You want to go to war with us. You want the cops and the civilians to fight on the street and kill each other out. That's the end game for the globalist. But again, we're here not out of anger. I'm not screaming out of anger. I'm screaming out of love. I'm screaming trying to wake you out of your trance. And don't confuse this compassion for weakness, because it's not. You're listening to the Sunday Morning Freedom Spin. This is the Drew Howard Show. The song says it all. Howard of the County, Kenny Rogers. We'll be right back. Connect Hi-Fi, Spreaker Web Radio.
20 years of crawling was bottled up inside him. He wasn't holding nothing back. He let them have it all. When Tommy left the barroom, not a Gatlin boy was standing. He said, "This one's for Becky," as he watched the last one fall. And I heard him say, "I promised your dad not to do the things you've done. I'll walk away from trouble when I can. Now please don't think I'm weak, I didn't turn the other cheek. And Papa, I sure hope you understand. Sometimes you gotta fight when you're a man." Everyone.
Yeah, this is what happens when you cross fun with classy. You listening to KineticHighSpy.com, baby. It's flashy. It's a fact. Nearly 80% of us will have back pain at some point in our lives. And for some of us, it can be debilitating. If you live in the Charleston, South Carolina area and have any kind of back issue, Peninsula Chiropractic is your answer. Peninsula Chiropractic has a reputation built on great customer service and the results most chiropractors can't deliver. One patient and local firefighter says, "I have been a patient with Peninsula Chiropractic for nearly 10 years. Dr. Ty and Dr. Rob have treated me with the utmost skill, respect, and kindness as a person and a patient. I feel extremely confident with their skills and have recommended Peninsula Chiropractic to numerous people, not to mention the relaxed atmosphere and genuine caring staff that is Peninsula Chiropractic. Don't spend another day in pain. Call Peninsula Chiropractic today at 843-723-6475. That's 723-6475. Or visit the office, conveniently located within the Sergeant Jasper Building downtown at 310 Broad Street, number 2, Charleston, South Carolina.
For America's wounded warriors, sometimes coming home can be a battle in itself. Every one of them needs our support to meet the challenges they face every day. The USO provides Americans a way to offer that support to our wounded warriors and their families. Join us. Visit USO.org to learn how you can make a difference in their lives. The USO, until everyone comes home.
Do you sometimes think life was just better when I was young? Maybe you're right. You know, there has been a marked decline in girls ages 8 to 14 that participate in Girl Scouting. And today we're looking for girls who are ready to be the leaders of tomorrow. Girls in this age group are vital to Scouting. They serve as role models for younger girls and uplift the community. And ladies, we need you to be that example too. Become a volunteer, a troop leader, or just enroll your daughter in Girl Scouts today. Call 843-552-9910 to learn more.
Do you remember eating spaghetti while watching Murder, She Wrote with your mom? It's like that. KineticHiFi.com Community Radio. Bringing back that warm, fuzzy feeling.
I think that says it all. Together we stand, divided we fall. Why do you think they try to balkanize us? Why do you think they try to keep us fighting on every possible front that we can? Why do they try to put us in as small of boxes as possible to keep us divided so we'll fall? Let's get to the border meltdown. That's still ongoing. No end in sight. Everybody thinks Obama's just going to legalize them with his executive power and set up his first galactic empire. It really is turning into Star Wars, folks. It really is turning into Episode 3, where Palpatine shuts down the Galactic Senate, and that really is how liberty dies. Let's get back to the story. The border meltdown. Obama has delivered over 300,000 illegals to homes in the U.S. This is out of thedailycaller.com. Experts say that President Barack Obama's administration has failed to close the loophole and is unlikely to deport more than a small percentage of the illegals, despite high unemployment rates among American, Latino, African American, and white youth, and the strapped budget of many cities and towns. We're seeing a lot of cities and towns fighting back. We saw that in Murrieta, California, and now they're all being labeled as racist. La Raza and MSNBC are out there. I can't believe you guys would block the buses, you racist. You don't want illegal immigrants here with all their diseases, you racist. You're talking about the diseases, you racist. And that's really... I can't believe any media is still supporting this when they're seeing their reporters get threatened for reporting the truth, get threatened with arrest for saying that there's a lot of diseases coming across the border. But nobody cares. Everybody just wants to watch soccer and bury their head in their sand and drink beer for 4th of July. Central American parents of 50,000 youths and children are using a 2008 law to ensure that their children are transported to them for free by a relay of Border Patrol and Health and Human Services. So in 2008, there was a law put in place to help any illegal use that are caught here be transferred to relatives in this country. Why wasn't this law put in place to send them back? You know, do we need to get a baseball analogy going here? This is a visiting team hitting a home run in our stadium. What do? Throw it back. Throw it back. Throw it back. Throw it back. Nobody does that anymore. When was the last time you saw that during a baseball game? You saw an opposing team hit a home run and the fans throw it back. No, they're just so happy to get a ball. There was a time in this country where it wouldn't have mattered if it was Barry Bonds' Hank Aaron record breaking shot. You know, it wouldn't have mattered if it was that ball. If it would have happened in a visiting stadium, that ball would have been thrown back on the field. And, you know, it's sad that people won't even support local sports teams, even though that's one of their instructions. That's one of the rules with your football. You know, always root for the local sports team. Go sports team. That's one of the rules there, but people won't even do that to the point where they'll throw it back. That's what we need to do with these illegal immigrants. We need to treat it like it's a baseball game, like it's the opposing team coming in here, hitting a home run. We throw it back. But that's wrong to say. That's racist to say. La Raza's going to be mad at me. I'm supposed to sit here and say, oh, my gosh, I love that illegals are coming here. Oh, my gosh, I love that nobody has a job and everybody's poor. Oh, my gosh, I love this song. That would have been an awesome setup if it had played, but we're apparently having internet issues. Let's try it again.
Oh my gosh, I love this song.
Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when we're part of the team. Everything is awesome. And we're living our dream.
Always use a turn signal. Park between the lines. Yes. Drop off dry cleaning before noon. Read the headlines. Don't forget to smile. Always root for the local sports team.
Go sports team!
Always return a compliment. Hey, you look nice.
So do you.
Drink overpriced coffee.
There you go. That's $37.
Awesome.
$5.23 the other day at Starbucks for a mocha cookie crumble. If that's not overpriced coffee, I don't know what is. But no, I'm supposed to be happy. Yay, illegals are coming here. Nobody's going to have a job. We're going to all have free time to do nothing with our government cheese that we're getting. It's probably racist against Green Bay to give out government cheese at this point. I don't know. I'm at a loss here. I'm just completely at a loss. Our elected officials are not going to do anything about the border. They've proven that time and time again. And what more proof do you need of what we want as the people? Eric Kander got voted out to a no-name with no funding because of his stance on immigration. Because he wanted to open the border. He wanted amnesty for everybody. Free health care, free Obama phones, free government cheese. He got canned because of that. You're going to see a lot of politicians that are supporting this being kicked out this fall. You know, I doubt she's up for election, but I'm hoping that they'll finally get rid of Sheila Jackson Lee down in Texas, out there handing out lollipops for votes on the border. Legal immigrants that come to this country don't want the border open. They want people to come here the same way they did, the right way, through the system. But the border's wide open. Disease, drugs, ISIS, all coming across there. And here we go. If we don't want to, as we mentioned yesterday, and as I was kind of talking about earlier with the Marietta situation in California, if cities aren't wanting the illegals, we're seeing cities all across the country. You can pull up the map of where they're planning on shipping them. There's a lot of places that are marked with, nope, already blocked by government, already blocked by people. There's regulations in place. We're not taking them. Now they're not even given that option anymore. This is coming out of Dallas-Fort Worth, CBS Dallas-Fort Worth. City leaders shut out a plan to shelter immigrant kids. Dallas County prepares to help with the overwhelming number of unaccompanied children crossing the border. One local city says it's being left out. We are just totally in the dark, says Grand Prairie Mayor Pro Tem Tony Shotwell. A week ago, Dallas County Judge Clay Jenkins publicly welcomed as many as 2,000 unaccompanied border children to North Texas. 2 days ago, he announced 3 possible locations to house the children once they arrive. One of them is the old Lamar Alternative Education Center, which is located inside the Grand Prairie city limits. However, City of Grand Prairie leaders say they were never notified until hours before the site announcement was made public. So that's the thing now, is they're just not going to give them an option. We're not going to open it up. We're not going to let local government discuss this, even though local government's where this should be discussed at. It's time to understand, folks. Government's not bad. Big government's bad. Local government, small government, that's what makes systems work. That's what keeps the wheels of society turning. Local government is what we were all meant to be at. Local laws work for local areas. When you try to get into a one-size-fits-all policy, as we're seeing with Obamacare, they're trying to do one-size-fits-all insurance policies, and it's causing all kinds of chaos. You've got, men in their 20s paying for birth control that they're not going to use, and you got elderly women paying for cataracts. They would need that, but paying for things that they don't need as well. It's what do you expect? I mean, what do you really expect? We got another article. This one's coming out of the L.A. Times. The headline on Drudge right now that just went up. Deportation data won't dispel rumors drawing migrant minors to U.S. Number of young immigrants deported has plunged under the Obama administration. White House blames Bush-era law for the rise in... Of course, it's the de facto go-to. When in doubt, blame Bush. President Obama and his aides have repeatedly sought to dispel the rumors, driving thousands of children and teens from Central America to cross the U.S. border each month with the expectation they will be given permiso and allowed to stay. But the Obama administration, those reports have proven increasingly true. The number of immigrants under 18 who were deported or turned away at ports of entry fell from 8,143 in 2008, the last year of George W. Bush's administration, to 1,669 last year. So we only turned away less than 2,000 people at the border last year. And you wonder why we are in decline, folks. You wonder why we are in serious issue. Again, it goes to the simple fact. Why are our veterans dying waiting on services that we're giving to illegal immigrants? We're giving health screenings. We're giving health care down at the border to them, but we can't get veterans health care. All we can get veterans are mass murder, suicide, SSRI pills. The backlash is boiling over. Christian Science Monitor is reporting that the protest in Murrieta, California, to turn back 3 busloads of undocumented immigrants, but more buses could be on the way. People are getting tired of it. The mass population is getting tired of it. What? Mexico's allowing this. We need to step up and we need to tell Mexico, stop these trains. Don't just stand there and let your military guard it, because that's what's happening. The Mexicans are saying, as long as you're going through, that's fine. We don't care. Go on through to America. They need to step up. They need to stop the illegal immigration that's running through their country. And, of course, now you're seeing the fearmongers, Lindsey Graham, come out and say, well, ISIS is sneaking in, and ISIS is connected to these cartels, and ISIS has weapons of mass destruction. How do you know that, Lindsey Graham? Well, we checked the receipt. They traded me some children for a bomb. That's wrong, folks. I shouldn't have went there, but you know my feelings on Lindsey Graham. And South Carolina, in true typical fashion, to keep that a-hole, is going to run Thomas Ravenel against him. A cocaine-running moron that just happens to share the last name the bridge here in Charleston is named after, because his family owned this city and was owed money in this city. He's basically a Charleston Illuminati. And we're running him against Lindsey Graham. It's time for the first break of the second hour. You're listening to the Sunday Morning Freedom Spin. This is part 1, The Drew Howard Show. KineticHiFi.com, Spreaker Web Radio. You can jump in the chat box either place. You can also catch all of our archives at Spreaker.com/sit-and-spin-radio. Head over to the Facebook page. Check us out there. And, you can jump in the chat box at Spreaker or at KineticHiFi.com. We're in both places this morning. And we will be right back after these words from KineticHiFi.com sponsors.
Yeah, it's what happens when you cross big with small. KineticHiFi.com. It's me. What you think I was going to say? Hey, you people get your head together. I don't even know. I'm trying to have an attitude over here. I ain't got time. Let's be honest. Realtors are a dime a dozen. However, true real estate professionals are a rare find. You want somebody who's not only knowledgeable about the industry, but who understands on a personal level the home buying and selling process. You want somebody who knows what you want. Put down those yellow pages and throw away the refrigerator magnets. Your search for the perfect professionals is over. Personal experience is what really sets Mark and Patricia Fuchs apart. Respected and revered agents with Keller Williams Realty, Mark and Patricia Fuchs provide their clients with a courteous, professional, and personalized experience. Whether you're buying, selling, or just browsing, go ahead and call Mark and Patricia Fuchs at 843-425-0953. 843-425-0953. Or visit their website at markandpatriciafuchs.com. That's Mark and Patricia Fuchs, Fuchs.com.
At 164 King Street, find an oasis of calm, the Charleston Library Society, celebrating the written word, dedicated to enlightened thought within an atmosphere of gentility and learning. Established in 1748, it's the South's oldest cultural institution, and you're invited to visit. Come experience the elegant main reading room, our children's center, and join in to enjoy our speakers series, concerts, and other fine programs. Affordable membership is available now and always at the Charleston Library Society.
Yeah, this is what happens when you cross fun with classic. You're listening to KineticHiFi.com, baby. It's classic.
Insanity is a stranger when you thought the road was straight. In the land of what if only the dreams you have are all far and late. But the stranger wouldn't be stranger if you could see him in yourself. You know him in an instant, 'cause I've seen him in myself. Let me welcome one.
And welcome back into the Sunday Morning Freedom Spin. Part 1, The Drew Howard Show. We got Nick O'Kelly coming up right after this with the Sunday Spin with Nick O'Kelly. Part 2 of the Sunday Morning Freedom Spin. And this is Nick O'Kelly's band right here, Suburban Myth, their first single, Welcome If Only. Will be hitting the airwaves later on in the month. New CD will be out also later on in the month. You want to check that out? Shares the same name, Welcome If Only. Very, very intense CD. It's a very intense song as well.
And breaks my fall in the black of the abyss.
Great song. Head over to Reverb Nation. You can check it out there. A few of their other songs are up there too. Amazing band. Check them out live. They'll be playing in the Charleston area next month again. I think they're taking a little bit of time off for the summer. They'll be back next month playing the Charleston area, so definitely check that out. South End Brewery. It's on their Facebook page, facebook.com/Suburban Myth. This is a story I touched on a little bit earlier when we were talking about the Joan Rivers situation, but now it's kind of We'll get into it here. This is coming out of the Hollywood Reporter. SiriusXM fires Opie and Anthony host after racist tirade. The host was dropped after making, quote, racially charged and hate-filled remarks on social media, the satellite radio company said. Which, again, if these remarks weren't really that racially charged. He says he was attacked by a woman, a black woman, while he was taking pictures in New York, and then 5 other black people accosted him as well, and that's what he put in there. And he goes on to say that they were animals, that they, attacked them, and they acted like animals, but that's not being racist for that. That's just simply saying the way that they were. He wasn't calling every person that way. He was saying these people are. And again, it's time that we stop trying to put everything under labels and try to loop everybody together. People are individuals. There are people of every race, religion, color, and creed that are jerks, that are subhuman, that treat other people like crap for no reason. That's in every culture, every race, every society. And it's time we start calling out those people for being subhuman animals like he did. I'm sick and tired of it. You see it every day. At my job, at my day job, I see it every single day where I have to deal with people that are just plain trashy. And it comes in all colors. So I'm sick and tired of these people hiding behind this is racist, that is racist. Again, if you want to see something completely racist, look at Zimbabwe right now and their policies. Those are absolutely racist, and nobody is going to say a single word about it. I've seen 2 articles today out of all the websites we've visited, out of all the different stories we've covered on this show this morning. I've seen 2 pages linked with that. 2. That's it. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody cares that whites are being ran out of Zimbabwe simply for being white. That's the definition of racist. Oh. They're still coming out. They'd rather talk about Hillary and why we need Hillary and why we need a woman president. Hillary's going to be so great. She's going to save us. She can relate to people around the world so much better than anybody else can. Isn't that the same crap we heard about Obama? Well, he went to a Muslim school so he can relate to the Muslim world. We won't have all the violence. He'll end the war on terror with a single wave of his hand. He'll make everything right, and we'll all get rainbows and cotton candy and puppies. If you want a world full of rainbows, cotton candies, and puppies, folks, you got to go get it yourself. Nobody's going to give you that. But we got to keep Hillary Clinton in the news, so that way in 2016 we won't be surprised when she's pushed through. The office of the presidency has already been destroyed. Again, you can go look at Freeman Fly videos. He talks about it. Great work he's did with that. Can't say enough good things about the Freeman Fly videos online. Been watching a lot of those recently. But Hillary Clinton said Friday that hundreds of thousands of dollars she charges to speak at colleges all goes to charity. I mean, it goes to the Clinton Foundation. Goes to her own charity. I mean, she's not giving it to like Wounded Warriors or, ASPCA. She's not calling in to the sad Sarah McLachlan commercials donating to get her tote bag. You don't see her giving to the World Wildlife Fund trying to save Bengal tigers. Getting a little plush tiger to go with it. No, you don't see that. You see her giving it to the Clinton Foundation, which she just sits on the board of, so she gets to spend all the money for the Clinton Foundation anyways. Not supposed to talk about that one, but she reportedly charges around $200,000 or more for each speaking engagement, and funnels it back to herself. This is money laundering. That's all this is money laundering through her foundation. How much of her drug money goes that way? At this point, I mean, really, what difference does it make? She's out there talking about how when they left the White House, they were so broke with their $20 million, trying to associate with all the other soccer moms that are having trouble meeting their household budgets, having to buy store-brand macaroni instead of the Kraft thanks to the economy. South Korea and China are trading in national currencies. They're dropping the dollar. The dollar crash is coming, folks. We've been saying it, and that's why you're seeing this build up with the stock market. It's going to pop. It's getting ready to. We saw it this week go over 17,000, and I think I'm going to go ahead and I'll go on record with this prediction. I think you're going to see the stock market get to about 18.5. They're going to build it up a little bit more. It'll get to 18.5, then it's going to implode. And it's going to be on the back of the car dealerships this time is how they're going to say it. Because car dealerships are giving low interest, no interest loans to people with no jobs that can't make their payments. Repos are through the roof right now. There's a great business in the repo industry because people are getting these cars that they can't afford. The automobile industry, not the manufacturers, but the dealers, your Rick Hendricks that own automobile companies from our automobile dealerships from coast to coast right now are working with the financiers. It's these bankers. It's this other banking bubble that they've created. They're like, housing's out, let's give money for cars. And they're creating this huge bubble for cars that's about to implode. And I think it's going to build up a little bit more. I think you'll probably get to about 18.5, and then you'll see it crash. Come crashing down, going to lose half of its value at least, probably 2/3 of its value. I mean, I think you're going to see it go from 18.5 to probably about 6,000 in the crash. Lose 2/3 of its value in the stock market instantly. Within crash that big, probably be 2 days. If it happens in a day, you're going to see mass suicides again. It's going to be 1929. There's going to be panic in the streets, run on foods, run on the banks. It's going to be brutal, and they're going to implement martial law with that because you're going to see the panic in the streets. You're going to see people running and rioting on the grocery stores. EBT cards aren't going to work. People's bank accounts are going to get drained. It's going to be a big shot. And the worst part is it's going to hit a lot of people that think they're insulated against this. A lot of the middle class, what's left of it, they're the ones that are still playing the stock market. They're the ones that are doing this. It's going to hit that. It's going to hit a lot of the unattached, not top elitist, but people that think that they're there. Ones that they may not be the Masonic brothers, but they're still high up in the company, things like that. They've worked their way up. It's going to hit them. You're going to see horrible crashes. You're going to see people losing their life savings over this. You're going to see people losing their retirement because so much of that's wrapped up in mutual funds and in these giant stock groups. But yeah, I think you got a little bit more of a climb. I think maybe another 1,500 points or so. Going to get to about 18.5, and then you're going to see it collapse, and easily 2/3, because the market should only be somewhere around 7, 8 right now, and it's highly overinflated, and it's about 10,000 points overinflated right now. So if it does crash, then you're going to see about a 2/3 drop. It's on record. Mark the day, 10:26 Eastern Time. July 6, 2014, on record, I said that the markets are going to hit 18.5 and then crash. So if it happens, we can back it up. It's on record. We got the time and date stamped. Little footnote down there. This is MLA format. Snowden strikes again. I'm basically just confirming something else we've been saying here, that it's not the terrorists, it's not overseas targets, it's not people associated with Al-Qaeda or ISIS that we're checking emails for. No, we're not checking Al-Qaeda or ISIS emails because they're being sent to the CIA. CIA doesn't have to read their emails. The NSA doesn't have to read them. They're getting them directly to the contacts there. But in NSA-intercepted data, those who are not targeted outnumber the foreigners who are. Files provided by Snowden show extent to which ordinary web users are caught in the net. Again, net, web. Why are these terms traps for the internet, for the World Wide Web? Why is all the terms for it a trap? Because that's what it is. It is a trap to suck you in to a Wall-E-style axiom world where you're fat, stupid, and only care about the screen in front of your face. You won't talk to the person sitting beside you unless it's through Instant Messenger. Unless it's through Skype. That's the only way you'll communicate. I'm sick of it. I don't want that. I want humans to take back our animalistic rights. And I'm not saying that we're all animals and we need to throw off our society's regulations and act like that. I'm saying it's time that we become passionate about things. We become energized. We get the spark of liberty back in us. We get the spark of life back in us. Too many people are dead, soulless zombies. You see it when you look in their eyes. And it's time that we start living again. As Matthew McConaughey said, L-I-V-I-N, living. Dazed and Confused, man. Great movie. Great movie. Ordinary internet users, American and non-American alike, far outnumber the legally targeted foreigners. The communications intercepted by the National Security Agency from U.S. digital networks, according to a 4-month investigation by the Washington Post. 9 out of 10 account holders found in a large cache of intercepted conversations, which former NSA contractor Edward Snowden provided in full to the Post, were not the intended surveillance targets, but caught in the net the agency had cast for somebody else. Many of them were Americans. Nearly half of the surveillance files, a striking high proportion, contained emails, names, addresses, and other details that the NSA had marked as belonging to U.S. citizens or residents. More than 65,000 such references to protect Americans' privacy, supposedly. Again, where's the FISA courts at? Where are these courts at that are supposed to be saying who the NSA can target? And it's only the targeted individuals. Folks, the NSA isn't targeting individuals. The targeted individuals are targeted by the CIA, and they're being hit by the HARP array. They're being hit by other forms of electronic attacks. They're being hit by other forms of VLF or infrared lasers, Tesla technology. Why do you think the FBI seized every one of Tesla's lab and files after his death? They've been playing around with the Tesla technology for 80 years, and they perfected it. They have the death rays. We've got the engineers on video that worked with the programs. We've got the NASA scientists that said Star Wars was about a death ray, and they got it. Ones that'll tell you they got Star Wars. Other countries have Star Wars. We got HARP. Other countries have HARP. You know, we've already talked about the Boeing VLF. Not even countries have HARP. Corporations have HARP. So why shouldn't we be surprised that we're being watched? We're being watched at all times. But the Octane Corporation is so cool, right? They make all the music, pop TV, surveillance equipment, voting machines, all history books, ice cream. Octane's so cool. President Business is so awesome. Go ahead, folks. Go ahead. Run around. Care about your chicken wings or croissants or giant sausages. And your where are my pants? You do that. And when you get glued in place by the Craggle, don't come to me to try to save you. I'm saving you now. Listen now. Or else there's no hope. That's it. Again, I'm not yelling here out of anger towards you. I'm yelling out of anger towards the New World Order. I'm yelling out of anger towards the secret societies and these secret groups that control everything. I'm yelling out against the global banking elite. I'm yelling out against the Illuminati. I'm not yelling out against the typical brainwashed, NPR listening, Prius driving moron. I'm screaming to wake you up from your trance. I'm screaming to get you out of your caffeine-induced coma and get back in the fight for liberty. To understand you are a brainwashed tool of a system that wants to kill you. It doesn't love you. It doesn't have your best interest in heart. It wants you dead and enslaved. No matter how much you think you can sell out to it, you can cozy up to it, you can buddy-buddy to it. At the end of the day, the system wants each and every one of us. It doesn't matter. Red, blue, conservative, liberal, black, white, Asian, Indian, European, South American. It doesn't matter. Gay, straight, it doesn't matter. This system, this New World Order, wants each and every one of us enslaved under Agenda 21 and dead by 40. We are nothing more than cattle to them. Opie and Anthony got fired for calling the people that attacked him subhuman and animals. But that's the exact same way that these elitists view every one of us. We're all the same. It doesn't matter if you're following their system, if you're listening to pop music and you're driving your Prius and you're eating your soy all day long and you're just dying faster because of it. You're following them off the cliff instead of sitting there screaming, no, don't push me off the cliff. You're jumping willingly. That's the difference. That's the only difference. Either way, the end result is still the same. And I have to ask, when you're falling off that cliff, when you've jumped and you realize that there is no chute, there is no safety net down there that they tell you is there. Oh, jump, you'll land in the net. It'll be fun. It's a carnival ride. Just pay your 4 tickets. When you realize that there is no safety net and you're falling, what would you do to come back to the edge of that cliff and to say to them, I'm not jumping, push me. If you want me gone, you got to do it. Get your hands dirty. And to fight with everything you have, tooth and nail, to not be thrown over that ledge. How much are you going to regret it during that fall, that you didn't fight, that you didn't give it your all, that you went along with the system blatantly, blindly, into death? Think about that as we take another break. This is Sit and Spin Radio. You're listening to the Sunday Morning Freedom Spin, the Drew Howard Show. Every Sunday morning right here on KineticHiFi.com, Spreaker Web Radio, from 9 to 11. Following that, you get the second part of the Sunday Morning Freedom Spin, the Sunday Spin with Nick O'Kelly. He'll take over 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Then you got the Bob Charles afternoon, 5 hours of Bob Charles. Love that. I mean, he goes way far down the rabbit hole, too. Crystal Skulls. I don't know what he's talking about today, but it's going to be an amazing show. Always is, with the Pyramid One Radio Network taking over KineticHiFi.com for the Bob Charles. 5 hours, Sunday afternoon. Don't want to miss it. As always, you can check out Sit and Spin Radio at KineticHiFi.com/Sit and Spin Radio. That's where all of our archives are. Along with, you can leave messages on the wall, like us, love any of our episodes. Head over to the Facebook page. You can give us a like there, Facebook.com/Sit and Spin Radio. And we're going to take a little break here. Come back, we'll wrap up the show. Don't know where it's going for the last segment, but it's going to be a fun spin for the last 20 minutes, that's for certain. So definitely join us. We got 20 more minutes left on the show. You don't want to miss that. Going to break with a little Highwaymen.
The woman and the stallion and the wind, and the sun is gonna burn into a cinder before we ever pass this way again.
And we're gonna ride, ride like a one-eyed jack of diamonds with the devil close behind. We're gonna ride.
You're listening to Kinetic Hi-Fi in Charleston, Samalama.
It's a fact. Nearly 80% of us will have back pain at some point in our lives. And for some of us, it can be debilitating. If you live in the Charleston, South Carolina area and have any kind of back issue, Peninsula Chiropractic is your answer. Peninsula Chiropractic has a reputation built on great customer service and the results most chiropractors can't deliver. One patient and local firefighter says, I have been a patient with Peninsula Chiropractic for nearly 10 years. Dr. Ty and Dr. Rob have treated me with the utmost skill, respect, and kindness as a person and a patient. I feel extremely confident with their skills and have recommended Peninsula Chiropractic to numerous people, not to mention the relaxed atmosphere and genuine caring staff that is Peninsula Chiropractic. Don't spend another day in pain. Call Peninsula Chiropractic today at 843-723-6475. That's 723-6475. Or visit the office, conveniently located within the Sergeant Jasper Building downtown at 310 Broad Street, number 2, Charleston, South Carolina.
Well, hey, this is Scott Mann from Wave 104.1 in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And even though you probably don't know who the hell I am, you should know who Brian T. Shirley is. You like to laugh? Of course you do. That's why you're a comedy fan. Well, head down to your favorite bookstore or just go to that store's website and order the comedy books Make Love Not Warts and 407 Beers Ago by comedian Brian T. Shirley. Brian's written 2 books full of crazy proverbs and silly sayings that are available worldwide for ebook downloads or in paperback. You can even get a signed copy by going to Brian's website at briantshirley.webs.com.
Do you sometimes think life was just better when I was young? Maybe you're right. You know, there has been a marked decline in girls ages 8 to 14 that participate in Girl Scouting. And today we're looking for girls who are ready to be the leaders of tomorrow. Girls in this age group are vital to Scouting. They serve as role models for younger girls and uplift the community. And ladies, we need you to be that example too. Become a volunteer, a troop leader, or just enroll your daughter in Girl Scouts today. Call 843-552-9910 to learn more.
KineticHiFi.com, Charleston's local radio.
Fitzgerald weighed empty. That good ship and true was a bone to be chewed when the gales of November came early. The ship was the pride of the American side, coming back from some mill in Wisconsin. As the big freighters go, it was bigger than most, with a crew and good captain well seasoned, concluding some terms with a couple of
Welcome back in. Sunday morning freedom spin. This is the Drew Howard Show. I'm Drew Howard. Superior's a dangerous place to be in November, as the Edmund Fitzgerald proved. It's a beautiful place to be in July, though. Although the ice hasn't even fully melted off of it. It's been kind of crazy this year with how frozen the Great Lakes were and the ice packs they had. And I think Superior still has some ice on it, last I heard. So it may not completely thaw this winter, but hey, that's global warming, right? Imagine how dangerous it's going to be then. So spent many a nice July day up on the Great Lakes. Beautiful place to be. Want to give a shout out to all of our friends and family listening in the Michigan area, great state of Michigan. Well, we've talked about this several times. We never actually brought up the story. This is coming out of Infowars.com. Feds threaten journalists with prison over report on illegal immigration. It's a letter sent to Infowars reporter Kit Daniels. Does a lot of great work. We talk about his articles all the time. This was for going down to the Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio and illegally reporting. What happened to freedom of the press? You know, how's it kind of illegal to report? I guess that's just me. You know, I thought the Constitution kind of made reporting legal, but maybe I'm wrong there. Department of Defense has threatened Kit Daniels with imprisonment in response to a report on illegal alien shelter at Lackland Air Force Base. In a certified letter sent to InfoWars, the Defense Department claims that Kit Daniels engaged in unauthorized photography and broadcasts which were somehow detrimental to the safety and security of the installation. Even though the photos of Lackland's illegal alien shelter, which is housing nearly 2,000 illegals at a cost of taxpayers around $250 per immigrant per day, were taken outside the shelter and clearly in the public's best interest. You are hereby put on notice that should you make unauthorized entry into any of the Joint Base San Antonio installations in the future, a debarment order will be issued. The letter statement, which adds further action, could lead to imprisonment. So he's basically been banned from all areas around the military bases in San Antonio and threatened with imprisonment if he returns. Multiple cases of swine flu have already been confirmed among the illegal immigrants. Also, we've said HIV, AIDS, syphilis, gonorrhea, herpes, lice, measles, rubella, you name it. Whooping cough. Whooping cough's a big one that's coming. And everybody that goes to the border places say that the stench out of these are just horrible. It smells like death. These people have rotting flesh, open sores, things like that. And look, yes, my heart breaks. I have empathy for that. But you know what I have more empathy for? Seeing a veteran who had his arm and leg blown off in Iraq not getting the treatment that he deserves. He bled and died for this country. Well, didn't die, but he bled and lost limbs, lost appendages for this country. What have these legals done for this country? What have they done for this society other than come here and be scabs and be drains on our society? If they're coming here to build businesses, to build industry, to create jobs, to create wealth, that's one thing. But they're not. They're coming here to take American jobs at cheaper wages. They're coming here to take housing, to take public education. In a lot of cases, they're getting on welfare. They're holding an under-the-table job and getting welfare. They're double-dipping into the system. They get food stamps. They get Obama phones. We got billboards lining the way all from Central America saying, come to America, free health care. Why do you think we're getting so many diseased and infirm that are showing up? Because they're told if they do, they get free health care. Our veterans can't get health care. Our citizens can't get health care. They're put under this absolute travesty that is Obamacare, that's taking their jobs, that's imprisoning them in these giant databases to be spied on, is taking your guns. That's coming. Why do you think we've seen so many doctors talking about guns with their patients? Because that's the next step. You want to keep your Obamacare? Turn in your guns. It's coming, folks. Every major analyst has said that. But nobody wants to listen to the analysts because they're not on ETV. They're not the Kardashians. So narcissistic and self-centered and conceited and so vapid and void of any intelligent thought. But that's who we need to idolize and hold up as the pinnacle of society, the Kardashians and Honey freaking Boo Boo. It's so embarrassing. It's so completely embarrassing that our society will not turn away from that and demand intelligent entertainment, intelligent media, intelligent thought. There is no intelligent thought. People don't want to think. As I said, I saw it last week at a show, at doing a comedy show. I saw it last week when I had the audience tell me, yeah, you were funny, but your jokes, they were intelligent. They made me think. They went over my head. Got more police attacking people. Of course, we have police attacking people. We had a story out of Virginia earlier this week where a family called the cops because their son was suicidal, and they show up and shoot the son. Cop felt threatened because he had a knife and was going to cut himself, so the cop just went ahead and killed him. You know, it's for his own good. Kept the kid from killing himself. I mean, either way, the guy's still dead. But it's for his own good, right? It's better to be killed by a cop than killed by yourself. Police relieve body cam of sergeant caught shoving student. This is coming out of Tucson, Arizona. They got to step it up if they want to be like Albuquerque. Police department in Tucson has released a raw video footage from the camera of police officer Joel Mann was wearing when he brutally pummeled a female student who was walking innocuously just off campus of the University of Arizona. He's in full riot gear. He's got a gas mask on, a riot helmet. He's got his billy club in his hands, well armored. I mean, he looks like he's ready to go into Fallujah. He looks like he's ready to actually go after some terrorists. Oh, wait, my bad. He is going after a terrorist. I forgot a 20-something, 115-pound college girl is really the epitome of terrorism. That's the war on terror. God bless Homeland Security for saving me from 120-pound blonde college students. Thank you. God knows I don't want them crawling all over me. A little bit of sarcasm there. Any College of Charleston blonde, 150, 120-pound college student, come my way. You can terrorize me all you want. That's sexist to say, though, right? That's sexist to say. I'm telling you, folks, I just don't care. If you want to call me that, call me that. If you want to call me racist, call me racist. If you want to call me sexist, call me sexist. If you want to call me homophobic, call me homophobic. If you want to call me a hate monger, call me a hate monger. If you want to call me a terrorist, call me a terrorist. Your labels have no meaning on me. That's the true freedom. Let's be free from the PC labels. Let's be free. Let's say, guess what? What difference does it make if you call me racist? What difference does it make if you call me sexist? What difference does it make? All you want is to put me in a FEMA camp and kill me. You want to do that if I play along with the system. If I go to Taco Tuesday. If I say how great President Business is, you still want to spray me with a Craggle. So what difference does it make? I'm going crazy in my head. I'm as clear-headed right now as Hillary Clinton is. What difference does it make? What difference does it make? Speaking of blonde 20-something college students, this is also coming out of Infowars.com. Texas Tech cheerleader receives death threats over big game hunts. 19-year-old Kendall Jones is drawing the ire of anti-hunters everywhere, including death threats, because anti-hunters are so loving, they're so compassionate, they're so caring. You know, I only see death threats from crazy, redneck, racist hate mongers like Phil Robinson. Oh, wait, he hasn't called for anybody's death. The only thing he's tried to call for death of is beavers. And not even Justin Bieber, which I think everybody would be okay with. No, he's calling for the death of flat-tailed, buck-toothed beavers. So that's it. But the left is so loving. They're so kind. They're so caring and compassionate. Right? Right? That's why we're so kind and caring and compassionate that we leave a U.S. ambassador and 3 other civilians to die in Benghazi and then say, what difference does it make? Jones is a sophomore and a cheerleader at Texas Tech University, and according to the Claiborne Times Review, Jones was neither surprised that some people would disagree with her hunts, nor opposed to people's expression of divergent opinions, but she said, I am really shocked at how rude many people are by name-calling and swearing. I have actually had several death threats. She shot a rhinoceros, it looks like. She's got a picture here with a rhinoceros. Chronicling an African hunt where she shot big cats, an elephant, and other big game. Even the anti-hunting people should take South Park's initiative here and follow their commentary on the episode where they did about all the teachers having sex with students and that epidemic that's going around the country we keep talking about. They did a great episode. Miss Teacher Bangs a Boy. It's Ike Broflovsky, Kyle's little brother in kindergarten, is having an affair with his kindergarten teacher. That's the gist of the episode. But it's also got Cartman running around his dog. It's commentary on Dog the Bounty Hunter series as well. Great episode. Can't say enough good things about South Park. But after they find out that the female kindergarten teacher is having sex with Ike Broflovsky, that all the cops are like, but she's hot. Like, this doesn't, she's really hot. And it's kind of like, can't even the anti-hunter like people take a look at this photo and be like, but she's hot. So what if she shot a rhino? She's hot. More sexism on the Drew Howard Show. Keep it logged in right here for it. Again, is that truly sexist? And that's the thing that a lot of people and I have had discussions about, including one of my good friends. We were talking about this the other day about people that pretend to be such great feminists and compassionate to women's rights and movements, but then when you talk to them off the record or outside of public places, when you're like in your car or things like that, they're just extremely misogynistic, and it's like they don't understand. They think because they put on that front of being so kind and compassionate and caring, combining those two words there, as they put on that front, and they wear their Argyle socks and have their trendy wispy facial hair, that they're so cool and so enlightened, but yet at the same time they're the biggest jerks for it. And that's the biggest thing that we need in our society, is to be done with the fakeness, because everywhere around us is fake. You see people that put on their fake fronts when they step out of their house. They're not really how they are. And it starts with our leaders. It starts with our leaders and their fake fronts that they put on, that they're such good Christians, even though they're going to Bohemian Grove and having gay sex in the woods and bowing down in front of a giant owl figure and doing a cremation of Care to Moloch. I mean, outside of that, yeah, other than that, they're great Christians, even though it says take no oaths in the Bible and, have no other gods before me. And so what if we burn a human effigy in front of a giant stone owl that's 80 feet tall that we dance around and pray to before we go have gay sex in the woods? And then come back and condemn homosexuality and every media outlet we can. See, that's my problem. It's the hypocriticalness of it. And I've said time and time again, I'm against the gay agenda. I'm not against homosexuals individually. I'm against the agenda that's pushing this on children. Leave the kids alone. All this is part of Aleister Crowley's OTO push from the Oreo Templar Orionis. It's all about exposing children to every sexual act before adolescence. Voluntary or involuntarily. That's what he called for. That's in his writings. Why do you think you see Miley Cyrus having graphic sex acts on the VMA Awards while she's invoking Kali the Destroyer? Because it's exposing the young children to her sticking her head up some giant lady's booty. I'm trying not to be graphic here, but that was a very graphic performance. You see Madonna at the Super Bowl come out dressed as the Baphomet, showing that that's who she honors, the Baphomet, old Persian gods. Russian scientists are raising funds to rebuild Tesla Tower, satisfy world energy hunger. It said Tesla came very close to unprecedented scientific discovery that could be brought to fruition. This is coming out of RT, the Russian Times. It's by way of Infowars.com. And again, we were talking about this earlier, the Tesla technology that the FBI took after his death and how they've used that with the VLF arrays. They've used that with HARP. It's a lot of the Tesla technology, the death rays. There was a great Jesse Ventura conspiracy theory episode where he dug into the Tesla technology, the death rays, even the dustification in some of Dr. Judy Wood's work with the 9/11 cover-ups. It's very interesting to look into with the Tesla technology. I highly recommend it. 2 Russian physicists are fundraising to realize their projects for wireless energy transmission, once proposed by brilliant 20th century scientist Nikola Tesla. Solar panels and an upgraded Tesla tower could solve global energy hunger, they say. And again, we're not moving with solar powers. We're seeing people that try to put solar panels on their houses being shut down by government regulations. You can't get off the power grid. When I was a kid in the late 80s, there was that push. We had a guy come in and talk to us in our elementary school library because he was one of the few people in our community that had solar panels on his house. And he talked to us about geothermal power, solar panel power, wind power, perpetual motion power, even the ocean machines that have been proposed. That would be awesome to work off the tides. Just generators that are pushed in and out. The fans turned by the tides. It would be power. We have technology here to get us off of nuclear and coal power. The problem is the elitists, the controllers, the owners of this world want us enslaved to coal. That way they can turn around and turn them off. They can cut off the power. If everybody's on a coal power system and coal's so bad for the environment, bingo, we control your power. Nuclear, it's so bad it's going to melt down and nuke the world. Look at Chernobyl. Chernobyl's great right now. I'd love to go to Pripyat and visit there because it's so interesting how it really is, to quote Dr. Ian Malcolm from Jurassic Park, life will find a way. Quoting Jeff Goldblum's character, life will find a way. And Chernobyl's a perfect example of how life has found a way in the Ukraine region there around Pripyat where it melted down. But that's the great threat with nuclear power. Why can't we get away from it? Because we always have to have that fear hanging over our heads. Fear to keep us enslaved. Fear to keep us in line. Fear to keep us under control. That's why, folks, it's so imperative to look inward at yourself. Find what gives you comfort and turn to that. And, I'm not saying find drugs or alcohol or any other decadent evil thing too, but find a peaceful way to comfort yourself from the fear. Because as long as fear runs rampant, we lose. That's the New World Order's most powerful weapon is fear. It's not their nuclear arsenal. It's not their bombs. It's not their MRAP tanks and armored patrols and body armor and grenade launchers and everything that they've armored up with. Their greatest weapon is to keep us afraid of being labeled, afraid of being looked down upon or blacklisted. It's not even fear anymore of anything physical. It's fear of people not liking you. So what? So what? There's 7.3 billion people on this world. Somebody doesn't like you, find somebody else that does. But the easiest way to fight their fear is what we wrap up every Sit and Spin radio show with. The words of wisdom. And I'm running out of time here quickly. Do do want to say tomorrow night, Monday evening the 7th, I hope to see everybody out at McAllister Smith Funeral Home on Folly Road. We're having the memorial service for Click's owner. It's Kinetic Hi-Fi and Fix FM, the parent company, Clicks. He started everything. It started with Kinetic Hi-Fi, then Clicks Radio, then the Fix.FM, the local music station. He's done stations for the hospital. So much work Brad did to build up Clicks Radio into a huge overarching umbrella, and we're thankful for everything. I mean, he gave Nick and I a chance with the Weekend Sit and Spin, and we're thankful for that. We're here a year and a half later, almost 2 years later now, thanks to Brad, and a big thank you to Boyd. And please keep Boyd Stow in your thoughts and prayers. And you can send any emails here to the station, in chat box. Jump in any place and leave a message for him. Let him know that he's in your thoughts and prayers, and along with Brad's family and all of us here at KineticHiFi.com. Hope to see you out there tomorrow night as we pay tribute to a man who really, everybody that met him will say this about it because that was his personality. He lived by the mantra that we here at the Sit and Spin Radio live by. There was no one that ever had a conversation with Brad Cooper that did not think that he was excellent and that he was excellent to them. So we're going to leave you with our words of wisdom, the way to fight the New World Order. Be excellent.
Be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes!
Be excellent. Party on. Those were truly words that Brad lived by and that I think all of us should live by. So tomorrow night, please come out, 6 to 8 p.m., McAllister Smith Funeral Home on Folly Road. Come out, see us. We'll all be there, the entire Kinetic Hi-Fi family, giving a send-off to someone who's gone way too soon. We love you, Brad Cooper. We miss you. You'll never be forgotten. See you on the other side, brother.
What makes me wonder